Hey guys, welcome. We have the final game of the winners bracket of round three, which is between Team Arquebus and Chaman Bahar. Let me just show you guys the winner brackets here. So yeah, we have Chaman Bahar versus Team Arquebus, which will be the first set that we'll show today. And assuming time permits, we'll have one more set from the loser bracket, which is the Ninja Squad versus Blue Team. So yeah. So there's the loser bracket, and hopefully we can get two sets done today. If not, we can just continue tomorrow. So anyway, let me list the map choices that these guys have gone for. Yeah, so Arquebus has picked Bog Islands and Arena as their home maps, and Chaman Bahar has picked Serengeti and Nomad. So Chaman Bahar, I assume, want to go for some sort of chaos, which is why they've picked those two home maps. Whereas for Arquebus, they've got Bog Islands and Arena. So I mean, Bog Islands, yeah, it's. I mean, I hate the map personally, but it's a pretty open map, and Arena is the complete opposite. So I mean, we'll see what Civs may decide to go for, and let me just switch over to the Civ draft over here. Just a second. There we go. So we have Nitro, who is representing Arquebus, and we've got in Green Heaven, who is representing Chaman Bahar. So let me fast forward this. Yeah. So okay. Arquebus has banned Mayans and Ethiopians. Holy shit! This is the first time I've seen these two bans on one side, and on the other side, Chaman Bahar has banned Britons as well. And finally, they've banned Khmer. So Khmer is, I mean, sort of, I can understand the pick, but I mean, both the teams seem to want to nerf any sort of archer play completely because they've banned, I mean, pretty much three of the best archer civs in the game. So yeah, let's just go over the civ picks. We've got Vikings, Saracens, and Franks for Arquebus. On the other side, we've got Vietnamese, Koreans, and Persians. So I mean, fair enough. You have to, pick whatever you're left with. So yeah, Vikings, Vietnamese, Korean, Saracens. I assume are the archer civs, which of course they are. I mean, and Persians and Franks depends. I mean, I would pick Persians if camels come into play, but otherwise, yeah, Franks are better than Persians overall. Then we have Portuguese, Lithuanians, and Japanese for Chaman Bahar. On the other side, we've got Italians, Magyars, and Malay. So the Italians pick sort of makes sense because of Bog Islands, I suppose. Because otherwise, yeah, I mean, Italians is a pretty wild card pick for any other map. Finally, we have Malians, Chinese, and Spanish for Chaman Bahar, and Burmese, Teutons, and Incas for Arquebus. So I assume these would be used on Arena because those three civs make a lot of sense if you're playing on Arena. But I mean, yeah, anyway, we shall see what ends up happening. Yeah, I don't understand why you guys go for Airtel. Airtel sucks usually. I mean, that's my personal experience. So yeah, anyway. And I believe I have the game already loaded up. So just give me a second. I seem to have misplaced something here. And yeah, got it. So I've got the game loaded. And I guess we can just go straight to it. Right. So, I mean, since I'm casting alone today, no chance seems to be MIA. We've had some discussions in the community managers channel, so yeah, let's see what actually is the situation with him. But anyway, I guess I'll just go live right now. If anybody joins in later on, they can just synchronize. So, will I cast Red Bull tomorrow? We have a show match actually between Fur and Zed, two extremely good players. 1800 plus both of them. So I believe I'll be casting the show match rather than the Red Bull World Cup. Yeah, exactly. Desi stuff is better, right? So yeah, anyway, let's go live. So, right, we have Nitro. Obito is Nitro. So Nitro is playing as the pocket, I assume, since he's the Franks. And we've got Purple Man, who's the first flank, playing as the Vikings. And the other flank is Mastermind, who's playing as the Saracens. So, yeah, I mean, these are three pretty nice saves for these guys. On the other side, we have In Green Heaven, who's playing as the flank, as the Chinese, right? And we've got the Pocket, who is Red Mess, who's playing as the Lithuanians, and finally we have Wacky Toad, who's playing as the Vietnamese. So, I mean, on balance, I would actually say that both the civs are I mean, both the civ matchups on both the team sides are actually pretty similar, and yeah, I mean, Franks are extremely good, but I was assuming that these guys are going to go for Persians. So instead, they've actually picked Lithuanians as the pocket civ, which is, I mean, it's a pretty nice civ for all intents and purposes. So that should be interesting. And so it will be Mastermind on one side versus Wacky Toad. So Mastermind is playing as the Saracens against the Vietnamese. So they both have some pretty special archers. Like Saracen archers, of course, they can bring down buildings, and Vietnamese archers get the extra HP. So I mean, not just standard archers, you've got something better than that. And on the other side, we've got the Chinese versus Vikings. So Vikings, of course, they get their fully upgraded arbalists, but beyond that, I mean, the archers are pretty standard. But then they get their amazing eco bonus, so that always counts a lot. And yeah, let me just go over the maps here. So in Green Heaven actually has his main gold and his main stone like quite forward, but I mean if he decides to use this tree line to wall up, his main gold can be saved. His secondary gold is actually pretty bad. Both his secondary golds, in fact, man, this is could not have picked a worse position for this. He's got some more stone at the back, which I mean, if he decides to wall up, he can sort of do some kind of walls from this to the hill maybe, and yeah, I mean let's see what he actually decides to do. And on the other side, yeah, I think he can just wall up to the edge of the map. That should be pretty easy. And on the other side, for Purple Man, his base is also pretty open. From the front, I mean, his berries can be threatened easily. His main gold is safe as long as he decides to, use the further edge of the tree line to wall up, and that should be fine. Unfortunately, yeah, his side is pretty open. There's a nice hill, and okay, he managed to save his scout, so nothing else happening. But yeah, I mean, on balance, his side is pretty open. What about the other side, man? Even that is completely open. So yeah, Purple Man versus in Green Heaven, I would pick in Green Heaven's map over Purple Man's. For the pockets, Nitro's base, man, this is horrible. This is completely horrible. I mean, this guy's main gold, his stone, his secondary gold, everything is completely exposed. I mean, he's got a couple of very nice wood lines at the back, but yeah, I mean, there's no chance of trying to even wall that up before 12, 13 minutes. Even if he uses 2 or 3 villagers to do that. So yeah, it's a pretty awful map for Nitro. On the other side, for Red Mess, okay, that's actually got a front wood line and some stone which you can use for walling up. Possibly wall up from the stone to the gold and then maybe to the wood line. So yeah, Red Mess, I would actually prefer his map. And finally, between Wacky Toad and Mastermind. So Wacky Toad, man, those berries are amazing. Completely safe, I would say. His main gold is actually quite close to his TC, so that is nice. I mean, he can place this thing. He can place a mining camp possibly over here. So even if scouts or whatever come in, those villagers can just run back to the TC very quickly. So that's nice for him. And for Mastermind, meanwhile, he's got a nice wood line. Oh man, this guy's already started walling up at 7.5 minutes. That's nice. And I believe the pockets are just about to click up to feudal age because they've queued Zoom. And let's see if Wacky Toad manages to stop these walls from coming up. Guess not. Or wait, why is Mastermind just pulling back? I mean, Mastermind could have easily just walled in the scout over here because Wacky Toad isn't paying attention to the scout anyway. And right, so we have Nitro and Redmas who already clicked up to feudal age. Both of them will roughly get to feudal age at the same time, a couple of seconds apart, but I mean, not a big deal. Yeah, of course. And okay, so we are seeing some walls here from Purple Man as well. Nitro is not going for any walls because I mean you'll end up wasting so much wood. And I mean the fact that you're going scouts, you need the wood instantly because most of your villagers have been on food for quite a while. So you need the wood to, just drop a stable. And if he has any spare wood after that, I guess he can, think about walling. But initially, yeah, it doesn't look like it. Uh, and nobody going for any sort of a trush or a man-at-arms play yet. Surprisingly, let me see if in green. So okay, so in Green Heaven does not even have a barracks up yet, which is pretty surprising. I mean, I think he's just going for some sort of a standard archer play, but yeah, I mean, he does not have his barracks up. I assume
准备
he's
就绪，
about to place it here. Yeah, there we go. Purple's second lumber camp. Purple should be on a single lumber camp at this point because he's going for a scouts build. Sorry. So, okay, we see some scout fighting here between Purple Man and in Green Heaven. I believe Purple Man has already lost some HP while he ran into Wacky Toad's DC. So, yeah, I mean that whatever micro he decides to do won't work. The scout's health is pretty much half at this point, and I mean, fair enough. No fights going on over there. And Mastermind, I believe, might have lost some HP on that villager. I don't know, but there is a hole in the wall over here, and there's okay, there is no hole. My mistake. So yeah, fair enough. Finally, we have 3 scouts from Nitro already. Let me see where those scouts are heading. Meanwhile, for the other pocket, we've got Red Mess, who's already also having 3 scouts now. I mean, Red Mess should definitely be able to wall this up. If he cannot, that's basically something that he has not managed to do properly. Because yeah, I mean, compared to Nitro, that pace is pretty amazing, and we already have quite a lot of scouting being done here. And yeah, so Nitro has 5 scouts now compared to Red Mess's 4. Any sort of forward aggression yet? I actually don't see any. And right, so we have the 2 archery ranges from in Green Heaven. Does he have a blacksmith yet? I don't believe he does actually. And let me just switch to the resources tab. Right, so okay, so Nitro scouts are already in Wacky Toad's base. Nitro has these 2 scouts. They've already managed to kill a villager. Wacky Toad, he's got a bunch of archers in his ranges. And let me just check. Okay, so even he does not have the black. Right, he's just placing it. And Redman's actually having to save his team here. So, I mean, that's already a sort of a. I mean, I wouldn't call it a mistake. It's just the fact that, they are slightly behind compared to Team Arquebus here. And we've also got some fighting over here going on. Purple Man has got some archers out, and there is a nice, beautiful hole left for Purple Man to send his archers in. So yeah, I mean, in Green Heaven is being threatened. Unfortunately, his forward lumberjacks. I believe he might end up losing at least one over here, villager, if he's not too
哎，
careful.
准备就绪，
Let's see if he manages to save that. And right, I mean those spears will go down to the archers anyway. And Chinese archers with no upgrades compared to Viking archers with fletching. And yeah, so in Green Heaven, rightly just decides to pull back because I mean until he gets his blacksmith upgrade, there's no point engaging with these Viking archers. And on the other side, these guys. Okay, so I don't think that. I mean, okay, so there has been some sort of a fight over here. Nothing major, I suppose. Uh, this is much more interesting. Oh man, so in Green Heaven has actually lost quite a few archers here,
何
and
种命令？
rightly having to pull back again. Let me see. He hasn't queued up fetching yet. Does he have the resources? Okay, so he does not have the resources, neither the food nor the gold. Oh man. So I mean, in Green Heaven, if he cannot stabilize over here, his gold is completely exposed. His wood is completely exposed. Does he have an alternate gold source? So he has one here, which he has not noticed. And man, so in Green Heaven, actually manages to kill quite a few of Mastermind. Purple Man's archers because of his own mistake, I would say. And yeah,
准备就绪，
man. And I mean, the awful thing here for in Green Heaven is that he's having to
何
queue
种
up
命令？
skirms just to push these archers out, which unfortunately require food, and food is something that in Green Heaven needs to get the fletching upgrade. So yeah, but I think yeah. So in Green Heaven has sort of managed to push the attack away, and Purple Man is just going back into his base. And okay. So meanwhile, we've already got Nitro, who's about to get into. I mean, he's heading to the Castle Age, 2.5 minutes or so. And some nice work here by Nitro and Mastermind. But yeah, I mean, now this army is just sort of caught in the wrong place, and a nice ball of archers from both the teams. Let me just check the upgrade. So Wacky Toad has fletching. What about Mastermind has fletching as well. I believe Mastermind should get the armor upgrade just to fight against these Vietnamese archers, because otherwise these archers, even though
什么？
he has 12 of them, they will go down
准备就绪
to 15 Vietnamese archers. Oh man. And Red Mess just clicks up to Castle Age. Fair enough. But I mean, Nitro is almost a minute and a half in front of him. Uh, right. And what exactly is going on here? I am trying to understand what these walls are doing. I mean, fair enough. He's sort of walled to the TC, so that makes sense. But I mean, then this is pretty interesting. On the other side, so Red Mess is completely walled up, and yeah, so he is walled up. What about Wacky Toad? So Wacky Toad, I am actually surprised here that he did not place the archery range over here and just extend the walls by a bit, because that would give him some safe access to stone. If he use the tree line to wall maybe to the house over here. And we've
何
got
种
in
命
Green
令？
Heaven moving forward now. Which I mean, yeah, so he was not getting any sort of attack on his side from Purple Man, so was he? I have no idea, man. If he was in Zoe Legends or not. Wait. I think you're talking about somebody else, because in Green Heaven, I believe, is a 1400 Elo player. So, I mean, unless T90 and his friends have some extremely demanding, Elo levels to place in the low Elo cap or whatever. I don't think so. Yeah, exactly. It doesn't make sense. And we've got Mastermind and Red Mess into Castle Age. Nitro has been in Castle Age for some time now, and yeah, he's already got his knight. So, okay. So he manages to quick wall this, and now he's building a TC, so that area is safe. And these knights should be easily able to, take these scouts. But I mean, personally, what I would do is just leave a few spears or pikes here and send the knights forward, because you have this advantage with your knights. I believe we should send them forward. And oh man, Purple Man has
什么？
22 archers about to be crossbows with Vodkin, right? And Mastermind is already getting ballistics. So, oh, holy
准备
shit.
就
This
绪
guy is not a ball of archers. This is practically a Captram over here moving forward. A Captram with ballistics and range. So, and rightly so, he's going for the production buildings, because yeah, I mean that range is going down very quickly. Yeah, forget repairing it, man. Saketo, just build another one behind. Although not that close, because these archers, these crossbows are just about to go in. And meanwhile, on the other side, we've got Purple Man also moving forward. Oh man, this is a disaster for in Green Heaven. So I mean, those archers, yeah, this, you know what, this is almost looking like a GG here. Because in Green Heaven, he is, I mean, he has queued up Castle Age. The problem here is he has no safe access to gold. Whether it's this gold, it's this gold. This one is almost out, I mean, it's pretty much outside of his base. So, yeah. And meanwhile, on the other side, yeah, this is not looking good for Chaman Bahar. I mean, as long as these guys can, not run their crossbows or knights, I mean, they can easily take down the TC with these Saracen archers. But yeah, so Wacky Toad, And yeah, there we go. So Red Mess just decides to call the GG pretty much the entire team because yeah. So GG guys, pretty dominant showing from you guys. Even though Nitro had a pretty awful map, I think his idea was right to be very aggressive and rather than have the aggression on his side of the map, just cause chaos on the other side, which is what they ended up doing. So yeah, GG's guys. Let me just update the score here and let's go and take a look at the stats. So yeah, we have the military numbers. We've got 44 Saracen crossbows by Mastermind and 29 for Purple Man. Nitro, I actually don't know if all 16 of those were knights or not, but if they were knights, then I mean yeah, seriously well played by you guys. In Green Heaven on the other side, I don't believe he ever even got the crossbow upgrade. So I mean, yeah, that's just unfortunate because he did have the numbers. 30 Chinese crossbows can actually require, easily push these 29 crossbows by Purple Man. So yeah, there's that. And meanwhile, Wacky Toad again, I do not believe he actually got the crossbow upgrade. Oh, let me just check. Yeah, so they never even got to crossbow. Yeah, for ऐसा ही होता है. What can you do, man? It's just a part of the game, I suppose. So yeah, those were the military numbers for the economy. Mm, I mean, yeah, pretty similar numbers for Red Mess and Obito or Nitro on the food count. But yeah, apart from that, in Green Heaven had, I mean, if he had placed the tower earlier, it could have made a slight bit of difference. But yeah, I mean, apart from that, some awful map generation for quite a few players here. And yeah, technology wise, this pretty much explains everything because you had Mastermind versus Wacky Toad, so where he beat his opponent's flank by almost 3 minutes, or actually more than 3 minutes. Between Red Mist and Nitro, you had almost a minute and a half of difference, and between Purple Man and in Green Heaven, I mean, in Green Heaven, even didn't even get to Castle Age. So yeah, and yeah, these are the society numbers. So I mean, a pretty quick game, so the numbers don't really matter over here for the villagers. But even then, Nitro actually, I believe he had at least two TCs working. Might have been three, not sure. So yeah, GG's guys, and I guess we can go to game two, which is in quite a few parts actually, if I remember correctly. We've got Chaman Bahar 2 Part 1. We've got Part 2. And okay, so I believe it's in two parts. Nitro's in the chat, so I think you can just let me know. And this is Nomad, right? Wait, what? Only games where two teams are supported. This is interesting. So, was there an issue with the teams here? Let me actually just load up the replay thing again. Team? No, it's two teams, right? It's these guys are team one, and you've got K Trooper, Red Mason, and Green Heaven in team two. But wait, this is extremely weird. So how long is the replay for part one at least? Uh, yeah, I mean I can possibly do that. Mm, Let me just check. Hey DJ Baba, it's just me, Cyanide, casting today. Wait, this is extremely weird. It is saying that only, I mean, it's saying that there are three teams apparently. which does not make a lot of sense. Hmm. Whereas in the replay thing, it is showing correctly. You've got team one, team two. Yeah. Hmm. Guys, if you guys don't mind, what I can do is, yeah, I mean, I'll just at least for the second game, I'll just turn off capture age, which will take a slight minute or two. So let me do that. Meanwhile, I'll just move you guys over to the winner bracket so you can stare at that. I'll just restart the game because I have to turn off a couple of mods and make a couple of changes to disable capture age. So let me just do that and this is actually weird. I've not faced this issue personally in the past, so hopefully it's just something for this game rather than for any future games coming from these guys. Yeah, let me just change the casting message in the meanwhile. Yeah, so meanwhile, I guess we can just look at the Civ draft as well. So we've got Vikings, Saracens, and Franks being played. On the other side, we've had Vietnamese, we've had Lithuanians, and Chinese being used already. So let's see what these guys decide to do in the second game. Okay, so we have the game loaded up, and yeah, I guess we can just go live. Let me just move this slightly. Now this is being a pain in the ass. Sorry guys, just a couple of things that I need to change over here. So yeah, I guess that should do it now. And let's go. So right now, this will be a pain in the ass to cast on Nomad. So we've got Purple Man in the red, who is playing as the Magyars. We've got Mastermind, who's playing, I believe that looks like Malay to me. And finally, we have Nitro, who's playing as the Burmese. On the other side, we have In Green Heaven, who's playing as the Malians. We've got Red Mass, who's playing as the Persians. And finally, we have K Trooper, who's picked the Portuguese. So, right, we've got Purple Man just passing. I mean, of course, there is a small treaty, so a 5-minute treaty, so no other shenanigans. Although Purple Man can still place a TC here and try and dodge the Portuguese player if he wants, but who's playing as the Persians? Let me just check. So we've got Red Mess who's playing as the Persians. And okay, interestingly, he seems to have placed a TC here and then deleted it, or it might have been somebody else. I have no clue at this point. Yeah, Indian. If you're interested in co-casting, please you can join me. I can just move you over to the right channel and you can join the co-casting. But yeah, I mean apart from that, nothing much going on at this stage. We've already got Purple Man with the barracks and he's got a TC out already. Let me just check, what sort of scouting these guys have done. So ideally on Nomad, what you want to do is you want to use your sheep for your scouting and use your dock and your fishing ships for your food income. Unfortunately, Purpleman I do not believe has. Wait, what? Ah, okay. So this is Mastermind and Purpleman, two teammates. But where is Mastermind's
Swasti.
TC? So Mastermind I don't think even has a TC at this point. Exactly. Yeah. So he does not. And wait. I think that might have been Mastermind's TC that he just deleted. Yes, exactly. So I don't think he had the wood to place a TC, or did he place a dock somewhere? This is in Mastermind's dock, and what the hell is going on here? So yeah, finally we have Mastermind who is uh, getting to place his TC. Unfortunately, he has no wood, so I don't know what has happened over here. Nitro's in the chat, so I think he can just explain to us what the hell was going on. And yeah, a bunch of pinging going on. Possibly to the TC locations because Chaman Bahar actually got an earlier start on their TCs. I mean, which you can just clearly see over here. All three of them are on 8 villagers, and although Nitro has 9 and Purpleman has 9, Mastermind is at just 3 right now. Oh man, this is an absolute disaster. And the awful thing here is that I do not believe he even has a dock up. Oh wait, he has a dock. Uh, Wait, why the hell can't I find that? Ah, okay, yeah. So there we go. That is Mastermind's dock. Yeah, exactly. I understood what is happening over there, but here's the thing now. So he does not have the wood to get any fishing ships, which means he'll have to use. Oh, so he's not even using food. I mean, he has a bunch of villagers queued up. I think he's just queued up Bloom at this point. Okay. And yeah, that is a pretty badass bow. Just did not want to die. Yeah, I noticed he was dropping wood in. Oh, wait. He was dropping wood in Purple Man's TC, I believe. Yeah, purple. Right. I mistook you. Say, if you were as if you were talking about the color rather than the player. Uh, Wait, what? They had. I mean, why would you have that? If these guys want to do, you guys can, you guys can actually do that. There's no rules against that. Yeah, the only issue here is that you cannot use your villagers to wall up an enemy TC or, do any sort of hill fights. Because if somebody spawns in a bad location, you can actually have one player dead within the first 5-7 minutes or so. Even less than that, I would say. So yeah, there's that, and we've got a bunch of fishing ships from Nitro. We've got some here for Purple Man, and I believe this is in Green Heaven. Yeah, so in Green Heaven, playing in the blue also has quite a few fishing ships, and so does K Trooper. The exceptions, I believe, are Purple Man. Does Purple Man have a dock? Okay, so Purple Man also has a dock. And I mean, as we saw, so does Mastermind, and poor guys on a single fishing ship at this point. Villager numbers, yeah, massive difference. I mean, for Mastermind compared to, pretty much everybody else. Okay, so that is part one. And I mean, I don't know why the replay just cut out because I don't see anybody getting disconnected or anything. Okay, anyway, we can just go to the second part then. Everybody is playing as the Britons. Right. So, yeah, anybody queuing up feudal? Not yet. Okay. So seems like we haven't missed much for any player. Nitro is sending a bunch of villagers forward. Is it to make a mill? Okay, yeah. So he's just collecting beer at this point. And a bunch of things being pinged. Okay, so I think they already know about in Green Heaven's dock location. Right? Actually, it is not. So I wonder what was being pinged over there. But I mean, fair enough. You've got Mastermind and in Green Heaven basically sharing a single forest at this point. You could almost say the same for Red Mess and K Trooper, but I mean they are teammates, so that's not a big issue. And who's this? Yeah, so we have Nitro over here, and right. So who am I actually missing? Holy shit! It's pretty pretty interesting to cast Nomad with without the capture age. I mean. But yeah, anyway, so we've got pretty much everybody who's clicked up to Feudal Age except for Red Mess, I believe. Yeah, so Red Mess and Mastermind. Mastermind, of course, is way behind. So that is to be expected, but I wonder what Red Mess is going for. I mean, he's playing as the Potions, so he can definitely, just do a sort of a fast castle and start pumping out knights. Should be interesting. I mean, in Green Heaven, he can definitely, keep Mastermind busy. But yeah, for Purple Man, I don't know what he can do. If anything, in Green Heaven can easily be 2v1 here. And we've already got him, having placed an outpost, and now he's finally placing a tower. Although I don't know if that is a defensive tower or he's going for some sort of tower rushing shenanigans. Master kept himself busy, yeah. And oh, okay. So in Green Heaven is already collecting stones, which makes a lot of sense because he's placed these outposts, he's placing these towers, and Purple Man going for a stable makes sense with Magyars, of course. The free attack upgrades can make them extremely potent. So yeah, I mean, meanwhile, Red Mass is just placing his barracks over here. So wait, what are his resources like? Okay, so he's in the feudal age. I don't know. I think he might be able to go for an FC here. He's going for a stable and a blacksmith. And in Green Heaven is basically 1v2ing these guys. We've got Mastermind who's been driven away from his TC effectively. So he's had to place a new lumber camp. And yeah, so Mastermind gets the feudal. I mean, he's playing as a Malay, so Malay can be pretty kick-ass once they get to Castle Age. But I mean, yeah, overall, in green alone is causing a lot of chaos for Team Arquebus. And meanwhile, Nitro at 17 minutes has, I guess, found a boar, and yeah. Okay, so we missed the water warfare completely. We've got K Trooper who's already got a couple of fire galleys out. So has Nitro, I believe. What's happening over here? Right, so we've got In Green Heaven also being pretty effective on the water. Purple Man's fishing ships will go down. So yeah, man, In Green Heaven is destroying Purple Man and Mastermind over here. I mean, overall, I still feel they can just come back. But yeah, I mean exactly as you're saying, Nitro. That start from Mastermind, it was yeah. What can I say? Okay, so we've got Purple Man who is in Castle Age. Over here, I believe, yeah, Purple Man has lost all his fishing ships over here. Does he have another dock? Okay, so he has one dock, but again, no fishing ships over there either. And I think the only move for him now is that, if he just makes a dock somewhere over here, close to his base, and maybe he can start pushing from there. But yeah, I mean, at this point, I believe Chamanbar has the numbers to win water completely. I mean, you've got K Trooper also patrolling his fire galleys on this side. You've got wait, who is this? Yeah, so we have yeah, so K Trooper is taking care of everything on this side. We've got Red Mess with his fishing ships. The only exception here is that Nitro, who's managed to save his fishing ships, but then I don't think he has any sort of real military. Yeah, exactly. He has no military, in fact. So yeah, I mean they've lost water completely at this point. Although we have Nitro and Mastermind who have clicked up to Castle Age, and meanwhile on the other side we've got in Green Heaven who's also clicked up to Castle Age. So yeah, it should be interesting what happens here. And okay, so is K Trooper about to click up? Yeah, I believe so. It's pretty close, I mean. And okay, so Nitro actually managed to get a couple of fire galleys out, but yeah, I mean, against four of these Portuguese fire galleys, yeah, even these fishing ships will go down if K Trooper had actually patrolled in the fire galleys rather than just right-clicking them. So yeah, just passing, I guess. And the random pings in this replay. And yeah, so Nitro, I mean, he has a couple of fire galleys, but against this, yeah, there's no way you guys are gonna win water, man. And on the other side, yeah. So this is looking pretty dire actually for Arquebus. And we've got some knights out for Purple Man. And in Green Heaven is extremely determined to make sure that these knights don't get inside his base. Yeah, so in Green seems to have walled up pretty effectively. Although I don't understand why. I mean, Arquebus could have gone for towers of their own, which is surprising that they haven't done that. And the Purple Man is placing another TC here. Let me just check the mini map. Right. So Red Mess has his Potion Knights with the +1 upgrade at this point. Purple Man, of course, gets the free attack upgrades and he has the first armor upgrade as well. And rightly so, just, decides to save his knights. So, yeah, I mean, that's fine over there. Mastermind, in fact, is the only one with some fishing ships out for his team, I believe. I don't think Nitro or okay. So Nitro has one fishing ship or two fishing ships, out of which one goes down, the second will also go down. And yeah, we have in Green Heaven who's already found Mastermind's fishing ships as well. So yeah, I mean at this point, Arquebus has pretty much lost the water control completely. Let's see if they can push these guys on land. Mm. Wait, what are these guys going to? I guess they are going for a TC. Okay. And oh man, in Green Heaven, I mean, he was on gold early as well. Plus the fact that he's got camels out. So yeah, Purple Man's TC should go down, I believe. Wait, does it have the range or not? I believe so. Yeah. So that's Purple Man's 1 TC being attacked, and I believe it should go down if he actually focus fires on the TC rather than those barracks. Or is that... Yeah, so it's targeting the house right now. But yeah, I mean, these camels can wreck at this point. Although he does not have upgrades, so that is pretty surprising for in Green Heaven. And Nitro is already out with his Burmese Arambai. So yeah, I mean, in Green Heaven is pretty much single-handedly sort of, dominating these two guys. And let me just check the military count. So Red Mess has 11 military. We've got K Trooper with 21 military. Is that all just plain water? Because I don't see any sort of land military from these guys anywhere on the map. Yeah, you've got Mastermind with his crossbows, and yeah, unfortunately for some reason, it could just be me, but... Ah, wait, okay, so Red Mess does have... Ah, right. So there is this big ball of knights here, with currently just a +1 attack. Okay, fair enough. And finally, let me just check for K Trooper as well. Ah, okay, so he also has some crossbows out, and yeah, Portuguese get their gold bonus, so that is nice. And I mean, these crossbows should be able to take the Arambai, but we've got Mastermind coming behind with his crossbows as well. So yeah, I mean, K Trooper is sort of being attacked by two players at this point. Let's just check the TC count. So Mastermind is at 2 TCs. And holy shit, so yeah, I think In Green Heaven just wants to completely wreck. Because yeah, Purple Man seems to have given up on his base. Oh man, where are all these villagers going? Uh, Dude, Mastermind. I mean, the castle will go up, I suppose, but yeah, this was an extremely risky play because these mangonels could have, easily stopped the castle from coming up. Uh, yeah. So on this side, man, Purple Man is having to migrate pretty much his entire economy. I think he's going towards Nitro's base. And Red Mess, right? So now Red Mess has these +2 knights. Of course, they are not enough to take a fight against these Arambai plus these crossbows. But I mean, yeah, these guys have the military lead at this point. And on the other side, we've got K Trooper taking out all of Mastermind's lumberjacks over here. So yeah, I mean, this is looking pretty bad for these guys, for Arquebus, I mean. And I think they've lost the water control as well completely at this point. So yeah, man, In Green Heaven has played extremely well here. Although we've got Mastermind with Botkin, and In Green Heaven does not have any attack upgrades for his archers. So right, Mastermind will end up losing all these crossbows. Holy shit. I think this is where the game is going to be called. Because there's practically no military for these guys. You've got like 11 and 7. So that's what 18, 17 military now for these guys. And compared to that, we've got Shaman Bahar with a massive military lead. Same thing on the villager side actually. We've got 69, 69 and 80 villagers for these guys. Whereas Nitro's on 33, you've got Mastermind on 39 and Purple Man on 59. So yeah, I mean Nitro can micro this all day long if he wants to, but yeah, behind this, Chaman Bahar has a pretty dominant economy and a military lead. So yeah. And we've got In Green clicking up to Imperial Age also. Holy shit, yeah. I think this is, we are looking at the last 5 or 6 minutes of the game here. Because unless Arquebus manages to do something, just something extraordinary, I don't believe they can come back from this. I mean, you can save your TCs by garrisoning your villagers or whatever, but yeah, long term, I mean, there's no coming back from this. K Trooper losing quite a lot of his military actually. Just passing. So wait, where is Purple Man going now? Let me just check his vision here for 1 second. Yeah, I mean the poor lady is not gonna make it to wherever she wanted to go. And what is In Green Heaven thinking over here? I mean these guys have the water, so yeah, I mean there's no argument regarding that. I believe it's yeah, exactly. It's just a matter of In Green getting to Imp, and yeah, I think that is when the GG will be called. Although we do have Purple Man who has managed to get inside In Green Heaven's base, and he's sending 3 monks as well. So yeah, there will be some eco damage for In Green Heaven, but he's already got 3 rams, he's got some camels and a single Gibetto also garrison inside his castles. And wow, man, look at Red Mess's boom. Red Mess already at 100 villagers at this point. And meanwhile, we have K Trooper who's just getting the wheelbarrow at 36 minutes. Hey Imperial Skirmisher, man, welcome to the stream. Yeah, I mean at this point, quite a lot going on, I suppose. But yeah, I mean long term, Arquebus, I don't believe they'll be able to come back from this. Although, as I say that, In Green Heaven had quite a lot of his eco completely idle here because of Purple Man's raid. So, yeah, I mean, there we go. These guys will decide to call the GG. Because, I mean, it was going to be pretty difficult to come back from this. And, to be honest, I don't even believe that it was something where, this happened because of Mastermind's initial thing where he had to delete his TC or whatever. It's just the fact that In Green Heaven was able to take two of these guys at the same time. Uh, Possibly, I would say, Mastermind could have, if he had got a TC up earlier, he could have been able to defend himself from In Green Heaven. But yeah, I mean, that's just an argument that, that can go on for all day. So I don't know. Yeah, makes sense, man. So let me just take a look at the stats here. Uh, yeah, I mean, although surprisingly, in Green Heaven, for all the shenanigans that he did early on, he has a negative KD. He's got just 22 kills to 34 deaths. Although we have K Trooper, I believe quite a lot of K Trooper's kills came in water. Although he did have this nice big ball of crossbows out, so there is that. But yeah, I mean, military-wise, except for Red Mess, these guys could have wrecked easily, even if the game went on for longer. And yeah, I mean, you can just look at the eco on the food especially where Red Mist, K Trooper, and Green Heaven, all of them getting more than 7,000 food, mostly due to the fishing ships. Whereas for these guys, I mean, they had to depend on their farms to get any sort of food income. And yeah, technology wise, man, In Green Heaven played like an absolute beast in this game. And these are the society numbers, yeah. So you can just see the difference in the villager numbers as well. Neither Nitro nor Mastermind even got to 50 villagers. So yeah, GG's guys. I would actually have to update the scoreboard as well. So let me just go ahead and do that. We've got a 1-1 for these two. And finally, I believe we can go to game 3 then. So yeah, what I'll do actually is just try and go for capture age in the third game. I genuinely hope that it was just a small issue. And yeah, man, exactly. These guys, they played really well. So they absolutely deserved the win. No arguments about that. Yeah, so let me just try and load up this game. Hopefully, I mean, I believe it should work. There's just some weird issue with the second game, I suppose, because it was played on Nomad. And yes, so we do have capture age back. Let me just enable the scoreboard for that. Yes, so right, we can go live and fair enough. So we've got Purple Man who's playing as the Incas, and his pocket is Nitro who's playing as the Teutons, and finally we have Mastermind who is playing as the Italians. Italians on Arena. I mean, these are the saves that they were left with, so yeah, makes sense. And finally, we've got Entry in Heaven who's playing as the flank as the Koreans. We've got Red Mess playing as the Spanish. And finally, we have K Trooper who's playing as the Japanese. So, should be interesting to see what Red Mess decides to do because we had a game just yesterday on Oasis where there was this exact same matchup between the pockets. You had a player going for Teutons and the other pocket going for the Spanish, and it did not work out very well for the Spanish. So, it should be interesting to see what ends up happening over there. Mm. Some some sheep have spawned outside the map for pretty much everybody, and yeah, so I do believe Nitro will end up finding these sheep in due time,
Joe.
and Purple Man is going forward. I assume he's just trying to find who his flank is because I don't think anybody at this level is going to leave a sheep outside and get lamed. So I expect a ping at some point now. Apart from that, let's just take a look at the map here. So we have Entry in Heaven, whose secondary gold is at the back. His main gold, I mean, it's pretty safe for now, of course. But if there is any early aggression on his walls over here, this gold can actually be denied quite easily. For Red Mass, his gold is, I believe, slightly safer, but not by a lot actually. His secondary gold is at the back, so that's nice. His stone is actually pretty far forward, so yeah, that can be messy. And K Trooper has a pretty awful forward gold, and he's also pushing deer at this point, right? So yeah, should be interesting to see, how aggressive these guys are. If there is any sort of Castle Age play, or everybody just decides to boom up to Imperial Age and then start the war. So man, I mean Nitro has a pretty nice base this time. His gold and his stone are both at the back. His berries are safe as well. And finally, for Mastermind, his berries are forward. His secondary gold is actually forward, but he's got a main gold and a main stone at the back, so that's nice.
Rimai.
Any idle TC time? Okay, so we have some for Purple. Sorry, yeah. So we've got some idle TC time for Purple Man and some for K Trooper. Slight bit of idle time for Red Mess as well. I believe these guys were pushing deer, which is what resulted in. I mean, this is what I'm assuming right now, but yeah, so pushing deer is probably what caused the idle TC time because that is the usually the one time where people forget to queue up villagers. And yeah, that boar is. Oh, he actually managed to get the boar in under the TC. That's nice. Uh, yeah, man. But I mean, the fact that you had such a shitty map and you still managed to wreck the guys, so and I mean, I've said this on the stream earlier as well that quite a lot of times when you have a bad map, especially on something like Arabia, which is completely open, usually, if you have a bad map with forward goals and stones, all that sort of aggression usually ends up winning you the game. So even though you have a bad map, the fact that you now have to be aggressive rather than total behind walls usually ends causing you to win. Ends up winning you the game. So yeah, let's see. But I mean, this is arena, so there's not a lot to talk about at this point, apart from idle TC times, of course. So Purple Man still leading the idle TC counter with 22 seconds. K Trooper close second with 15 seconds. Yeah, I mean exactly the Italians pick. I mean it makes sense, right? These are the civs that they were left with, so they had to go with them. But then you also have somebody like Sir Tala from Masterplan RT who actually like picks Italians on arena. So I mean it can't be that awful, right? Uh, it just depends on what these guys end up doing. Because of course with their Genoese crossbowmen they can wreck cavalry. And especially with the fact that you have the Teutons who of course get the extra armor, but then it's melee armor, so the pierce damage is going to go through, right? Okay, so he goes for the Condottiere of Flood. Makes sense. Uh, yeah, so let's see. Although I am slightly weirded out by this thing because these guys they did have Burmese, so they picked Burmese on Nomad and Italians on Arena, uh, which is something that deserves an official explanation from you guys. So yeah, I mean, unless you guys are playing on an opposite day or something, why would you do that sort of a pick? I mean, it's Nomad, it's not a pure water map or anything, but even then, yeah, I mean, of course, Italians aren't a hybrid civ, but if nothing else, they are slightly better on water than they are on land, I would say. So, yeah, we've got pretty much everybody going for a fast castle at this point, which of course makes sense on arena, except for K Trooper, right? So, how is K Trooper lagging in the food department? I think K Trooper has made a massive mistake on his build order because he's got
Yep.
one guy on berries who's having to walk like practically 6 feet to drop food. And I mean, yeah, K Trooper is not getting to Castle Age anytime soon, unfortunately. And the fact that he has these number of farms so early. I think what happened is the boar might have spawned behind one of these walls, which made it extremely hard to spot them, and that is what might have caused him to drop these early farms. Right. So you wanted to play Burmese.
Nanda.
Yeah. So K-Troop was about to lose a villager to the boar. Man, I have no idea what K-Troop was doing at this point. He has clicked up to Castle Age, and we will have Purple Man losing his scout here. I don't know what K-Troop was doing, honestly, at this point. I mean, he will manage to get to Castle Age early enough, but yeah, losing a villager this early, it's still one more on the top right. One more what on whose top right? Yeah, so the starting scout, of course, you need to encourage them to actually have a fight. So yeah, otherwise they just end up staring at each other. And okay, so we have Mastermind who's already got an archery range up, and I don't know, is he trying to hide the archery range? Which is why he's not placed this forward, or maybe he just uses gold villagers. I don't know. And so everybody getting to Castle Age, I believe. Yeah, so the only person who's remaining is K Trooper, who bowled top left. Yeah, so do believe K Trooper has just sort of given up on that boar. I think he might have made a big mistake with his build order somehow. Because I mean, especially on arena, even if you're like a 900 elo player, there is no justification for forgetting to bring your boards in or whatever, because you don't have any sort of early aggression, right? And Mastermind going for a 2 TC boom, or is it a 3 TC boom? Let me just check the resources. So, okay, Mastermind does not have the wood to drop another TC at least. And although what is surprising is that he made these
Press stop.
3 archers. And yeah, so meanwhile in Green Heaven is already preparing a defensive castle over here. And he's got his scout just chilling. Barely alive at this point. Sorry, that is Nitro Scout. And K Trooper going for a barracks. Right. So we might actually see some military being made, possibly some spears or whatever, because we've already got Red Mist who's got a monk out somewhere on this map. Yeah, there you go. So we've got a monk out who wants to collect a relic, I suppose. Wait, who has dropped a third? If you're talking about Mastermind, okay, my bad. I'm so sorry. I'm not blind, man. I'm just old. I'm an old millennial. And K Trooper also going for an archery range. What is being pinged, man? Oh, okay, so nice. We will have some aggression in Castle Age, thankfully. We've got a siege workshop here. We've got some war wagons coming out. And yeah, I mean, I don't know what's going on. What will the siege be supported by? Because I mean, these war wagons can definitely wreck. Nothing being made in the siege workshop yet, surprisingly. And Nitro is going for his double layer walls. And I do believe Nitro has given me an explanation as to why he places these houses like at least one tile away from the walls. Basically just to make sure that, you know, if there is any siege coming forward, there is no AOE damage on the house layer or whatever. But yeah, Mastermind, nice. So Mastermind did have stone. Okay, he's got like 7 people collecting stone. So there is a stone. I mean, there's a castle coming up. There's also a university coming up. And surprisingly, we've got a mangonel here. So I suppose the mangonel is there just to make sure that, you know, there's no revolving being done behind this. And the conchs are there just to make sure that the gate actually comes down. I would have actually, I mean, I was expecting a ram personally, or a couple of rams to come behind this. In fact, it's the second mangonel that's coming forward. But yeah, so these guys, they'll have a pretty nasty surprise the moment they get in, because the castle is just outside the fog of war, or rather inside the fog of war. So these guys can't see. And any aggression over here? So we've got, oh wait, what? We've got K Trooper dropping a TC outside his base, and I don't believe he has any real military to speak of. Yeah, so if Purple Man was paying attention, which he isn't, he's just chilling and booming at this point. But if he was paying attention, that could have been pretty bad for K Trooper. And the skunks managed to get in. And Mastermind has actually done this pretty well. The walls behind, or rather to the side of those castles, mean that, you know, that there's not a lot of damage that can be done here. These mangonels, of course, they cannot come inside. Currently they have, Mastermind just has a fletching upgrade, but yeah, I mean, these mangonels, I believe, would just die anyway. Hey Pink Button, welcome to the stream. And yeah, so Mastermind at this point, I mean, he's got a nice safe main gold at the back. So even if for the short term he loses access to this gold, he's not going to have any issues. But wait, what? He's going for some stone walls? Yeah. So he's going for these extra stone walls, which, I mean, to be honest, they don't make any sense, because there are mangonels out here, there are conquistadors, and there are war wagons here. So what is the stone wall going to do to you? In fact, not even, being able to complete the wall. So is right. So Nitro decides to make some stables. How many stables? Man, 4 stable production. Holy shit. So that's 4 stables and a siege workshop. Meanwhile, what is Purple Man doing here? Right. So Purple Man, of course, playing as the Incas. They get their fully upgraded archers. Man, yeah. So we finally see the Genoese crossbowman. I mean, what can you do in front of the Teuton Pocketman? Which is something that I am curious to know myself. If the Spanish player goes for knights, they'll just be easily countered by the Teuton knights. And yeah, so Nitro doing the right thing here. He's making this castle, which of course will go up. I don't know if these guys, I mean, they're not even close enough to the wall at this point. So right now they of course can't see the castle, but I do believe that if these war wagons come close towards the wall, they should be able to see the castle. But yeah, I mean, instead they are just attacking the wall at this point. Nitro, as long as finishes this wall over here, there's this hole. If he makes a wall over there or places a house or whatever, he's safe. And yeah, so Nitro unfortunately does not have anything, any of the attack upgrades on the archers. So